car buyer wants a car that's snappy, getting away from a traffic light, because the fastest car from a standstill will be the peppiest performer in any city traffic situation. A new car buyer wants a car with plenty of open road power, too, for safe passing, lively hill climbing, and effortless highway cruising. Here's where he demands perfect performance. When he has to stop, maybe it's for a simple stop sign, or maybe it's for an emergency. Like they say, it's not high speeds that hurt, it's those sudden stops. Now, the new car buyer wants these driving benefits all the time, not just for the first 6 months of his new car's life. So he expects lasting dependability, a car he can always count on, no matter where he lives or where he travels. It all rolls up into that one big word, performance. It's that invisible something a prospect can't see, but he sure can feel. And that's right where we want him, where he can feel it. Right here, behind the wheel of a new DeSoto. One demonstration ride will help to convince him that this car will outperform anything in its class. And because that's what the man wants, performance power is selling power. It's something you can offer a prospect in a new DeSoto that will custom fit his every driving need. Let's just see how important performance is to our man. Here he is coming home from the office. He's tired, the traffic is heavy, and he's stuck behind a bus. Naturally, he wants to pass. And there's his chance. He floors the accelerator and snaps around the bus. That's the kind of pickup every driver wants. But how do you tell which car will have the best performance for a situation like this? Well, let's look at the 0 to 60 test results you saw in the DeSoto Buick comparison film. The Fire Dome has 270 horsepower. The Century was rated at 300. Here it is, the kind of go power we were talking about. DeSoto beat the Century to 60 by 2.5 car lengths. Remember, Buick is supposed to have 30 more horses. Okay, suppose your prospect is driving in traffic and there's a sudden opening. Which car can take the most advantage of it? DeSoto, as our road test proved. Now, suppose your prospect thinks that Oldsmobile is a great performer. Remember the 0 to 60 race between a DeSoto Fireflight and an Olds 98? As you know, the Flight hit 60 a good car length ahead of the 98. Here's the Dome against Mercury, and DeSoto wins again. Or maybe your prospect is talking about the Buick Special. DeSoto's Fire Sweep whipped the Special by 2.5 car lengths. So no matter which model the prospect chooses, you can offer more dependable pickup performance in the DeSoto. Now your prospect knows there's more to acceleration than fast starts. Our friend is stuck again, this time behind a truck, doing a nerve-wracking 40 miles an hour. This very inconsiderate winding road has made it impossible for him to pass in the last 4 miles. Well, here, finally, is a short stretch of straight road. Think he'll try to make it? You bet your life, you would too. Now, if he's going to make it safely, he's going to want the car that'll pass soonest, because that's the safest. You remember the DeSoto Buick film test shots? Take a look at the passing test again. A Fire Sweep with power pack at 260 horsepower raced a Buick Century with those 300 horses. That Buick is supposed to have 40 more horsepower, but look, DeSoto actually got back in line a few feet before the Buick Century. That's the kind of performance Mr. Car Owner wants. And that's the kind of performance he'll feel when he takes a demonstration ride. Now here's how the Fire Sweep with power pack handled the Pontiac Star Chief in the same race. Look, with the truck at the 300-foot mark in both pictures, the DeSoto is already back in line, while the Pontiac is still on the wrong side of the road. The DeSoto Fireflight and the Olds 98, with Fireflight back in line, well ahead of the 98. And the Fire Dome and the Mercury Montclair. Check the difference again. No matter what the competition, DeSoto still gives more open road power. Every prospect is a performance-minded prospect, because every prospect wants go power for quick bursts in traffic and safe highway passing performance. Here's one big reason for DeSoto's performance superiority. The new TorqueFlite automatic transmission, operated with mechanical push buttons. Push buttons are really not important so far as performance is concerned, but they make a whale of a difference in driving convenience. TorqueFlite's big benefit is pickup power. The main job of a transmission is to multiply engine torque so the car will accelerate faster. So let's see how TorqueFlite compares with the competition in this respect. TorqueFlite multiplies engine torque at breakaway almost twice as much as Buick Dynaflow. TorqueFlite multiplies engine torque at breakaway over half again as much as the Olds Hydromatic, and about 23% more than Mercury's Mercomatic, the closest any competitor comes to DeSoto. So you can see how TorqueFlite gives DeSoto safer acceleration, even when the other car has more horsepower. Any man who's thinking about buying a new car would like to know that. Despite the smaller engine, DeSoto gets as much acceleration as, say, Buick. So let's just compare the DeSoto power plant with Buick's. And while engine designs are different among DeSoto competition, the comparison with Buick will show the main advantages DeSoto has over all of its competition. DeSoto's biggest advantage is the dome-shaped combustion chamber. Only DeSoto has this dome shape. Buick and all other DeSoto competitors use chambers which expose more metal surface to heat than DeSoto's smooth, curved surface does. The smooth dome-shaped chamber offers many benefits. Because there's less surface area, less engine heat is lost through the smooth walls of the dome. That helps the curved chamber make the most of each charge of fuel. The dome chamber has no corners to collect power-robbing carbon. That means DeSoto's engine will keep its new car power longer. The valves are important to the story of why DeSoto gives outstanding performance under any driving conditions. The valves let the fuel into the combustion chamber and pass the exhaust out of it. This is called engine breathing, and DeSoto's valves let the engine breathe more efficiently in slow or fast operation. Here's why. DeSoto's valves are placed on opposite sides of the chamber. Buick, like the other DeSoto competitors, places both valves on the same side of the chamber. You can see how the DeSoto design lets the fuel in and the exhaust out in a smooth, uninterrupted pattern. In a design like Buick's, the flow pattern is interrupted by a couple of sharp turns. DeSoto's valve placement also makes it possible to put the new extended tip spark plug deeper into the chamber for quicker, more even fuel burning. And this allows the use of a leaner fuel mixture, which saves gas for the new owner. These extended tip resistor spark plugs are longer lasting, too. One reason why DeSoto turns out peak performance longer than competition. That's dependability a new DeSoto owner can count on. Actually, DeSoto is famous for dependability. The dome chamber and all of its design advantages help give the engine the kind of dependability a new owner wants. Top performance anytime, any place, and long engine life. Why not tell him the whole story? Because it's true that in snow or sand, in desert heat or winter rains, whether the owner drives 5,000 miles a year or 25,000, his DeSoto will start every morning and deliver dependable, economical performance every day. And here are some reasons why. This is the high-capacity generator. Unlike most competitive generators, which charge only at higher speeds, this system charges just above idle. And that means less drain on the battery, even with all the accessories going in stop-and-go traffic. Here's DeSoto's waterproof ignition system in action. You can see why DeSoto's keep going in any kind of weather. And DeSoto's dry element air cleaner is actually 99% efficient in its cleaning action. It assures clean engine operation under the worst dust conditions. And a clean engine pays off in greater dependability and fewer repair bills. Still another DeSoto plus, 2 fuel filters, one in the fuel tank and one in the carburetor. This practically eliminates clogging and assures a steady fuel supply in any kind of weather or in any driving situation. Every new car buyer wants economy, too. The 4-barrel carburetor in the Fireflight and Sweep with Power Pack lets the car perform on only 2 barrels, even at 60-mile-an-hour cruising speeds. That naturally means big savings in gas. Of course, there's plenty of 4-barrel power waiting when the driver wants it. So you can see that DeSoto offers the kind of anytime, anyplace performance a buyer needs, whether he lives in cold northern Maine or hot southern Texas, rugged Colorado or Florida's flatland. And DeSoto's steady go power will prove itself in any demonstration. Now we'll take a closer look at what good stopping performance means to your prospect after the operator turns the record.